What's going on, everybody? I know I really haven't been on here in a while. I really haven't had much to talk about that was positive, so kind of just let it go. But just to get some people updated, if you haven't seen the last video I posted, my case finally has a date. October 25th. There's no oral argument in this. I waived it. So the judge's panel is just going to have my brief. It's going to have the state's brief, which is only 10 pages, by the way. And then my reply brief, basically my rebuttal to the state's argument. And see what happens. They could rule on it and come back in a day. It could take 45 days. Who really knows? I kind of expect a negative response, but I'm going to hold out a little bit of hope that the judges realize that they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I know they don't want to go against the Supreme Court of New Jersey. They don't want to do that. But at the same time, if they rule against me, they're defying the Supreme Court of the United States. So what do they really want to do? And that we'll find out. So, on to the next news. We all know that Brett Kavanaugh is, on the Supreme Court now. And I have to say that was a debacle. I watched it. As someone who has two daughters and two sons, I can see some on both sides why it's good and bad. For my sons, I don't want them to ever be falsely accused of anything. And I understand as a woman it might be difficult to come out right away. Especially if it was when they were kids, but in this circumstance, 35 years, she's been adult 34 of those years, and Brett went through a previous confirmation at the district circuit court, and it never came up, and then her witnesses, the witnesses that she named can't even back her story up. So that, you cannot be guilty until proven innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty here. That's what's supposed to make us different than other countries, at least in part. So either way, he's on there, and it is what it is now. But why I wanted to jump on here real quick is because I got some news. Now, I got this from a source, and I cannot say who it is. But the source has, I don't want to say 100% connection, but there's a link there. They have a connection. So it makes me believe what I got from that person, that it's true. I could be wrong. They could be wrong. But don't be surprised after I give you this information if a few months from now it comes out that it was right. You could watch this video and say, you know what? He was right, or I told you so. So anyway, there's a strong possibility that Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court is actually really sick. All jokes aside, everybody's been posting Grim Reaper memes and stuff like that, behind her and making jokes. Granted, she's not two-way friendly, but she is a person, and I don't wish death on anybody. But it's very, very close to the vest. People in her family apparently know that she's sick. It might start coming out. People might be posting things shortly. I don't know for sure, but they might be posting things questioning her health. So don't be surprised if you see that. Her mind might be there, could be, very well be, and she might feel that she's mentally fit to hold the bench as long as she can, but physically she might not be able to do it much longer. I know I watched an interview with her in September, and she did not look good. She had a hard time answering questions. Not that she didn't know the answer, but she just couldn't get it out. And it's very, very slow speech, and actually physically looked sick. So, could it just be that's how an 85-year-old person looks when they get a normal cold or something? I don't know, but don't be surprised if she's off the bench by January, or at least put in a notice that she's going to step down. I have a feeling she's going to try to stay on. If she is sick, I still believe she's going to try to stay on to at least the 4th year of Trump's being president, so they can try to say that Biden rule, so Trump can't appoint somebody until he wins again. They don't want anybody appointing Supreme Court justices in their last year in office. So that might be an attempt. But this is only his 2nd year, so if she's off the bench midway through next year, don't be surprised if Trump gets a chance to pick somebody else. And I strongly believe now that he will. He said it from the very beginning. Trump did say from the very beginning that he had a feeling that he could appoint 3, maybe 4 justices before his first term ends. So, if he gets to appoint 1 for her, that would be number 3. And there's always been a little birdie out there saying one of the other justices has issues with diabetes that could really affect their ability to be on the bench full time. But I know plenty of people who have diabetes, and they still work an everyday job, 40 hours a week. So I can't say that will happen, but don't be surprised if you find out that Ginsburg is sick and is stepping down. Again, I could be wrong, but I had nothing else to talk about today. So until next time, peace.